Do you guys know what the names of these animals on the cover of this book are? Jackie?
A hippo and a turtle.
Turtle and hippo. She right, Emma?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, wait. Turtles are small. It's a tortoise.
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 And a hippo?
Yeah.
Okay, the hippo's name is Owen. And the tortoise's name
Mizzy.
is Mitzi.
Mizzy.
Do you think a tortoise and a hippo can be friends?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Depends on how nice they are.
Wait, don't hippos eat turtles? Or do they eat fish?
I don't know.
Or do they eat, no?
Alright, let's read the book and find out.
Okay.
This is the true story of two great friends. A baby hippopotamus named Owen and a 130-year-old giant tortoise named Mitzi.
Well, that's old.
The hippo was not always friends with the tortoise. He wasn't always known as Owen, and Owen was not always famous the world over. Here is how it happened. Before the baby hippopotamus became known as Owen, he lived with his mother in a group, or pod, with about 20 other hippos. They fed and wallowed in and around the Sarabi River in Kenya, a nation on the east coast of Africa. When he was about 1 year old, heavy December rains flooded the river. The racing water washed Owen and his family down the river until the fresh water became salty and the river flowed into the Indian Ocean near the small coastal town of Malindi. For days, the people of Malindi tried to chase the hippos back up the river, but the hippos enjoyed grazing the grasses along the shore and in the villagers' yards. They had hippos in their yards. Since hippos are the most dangerous animals in Africa, and a full-grown adult can weigh as much as 8,000 pounds,
Whoa.
there was little the people could do.
That's way bigger than me.
You see, they were in the river,
Hippo!
and then
They're cute.
they got washed away.
That one looks,
Oh, that's sad.
lazy.
On the morning of December 26, 2004, the sea suddenly rushed high onto the beaches and surging waves pounded the shore. Many of the villagers' boats were damaged and many fishermen had to be rescued. Before long, the sea was calm again, but it was a frightening time for everybody. A day passed before anyone thought to check on the hippos. The villagers now saw only one hippopotamus in the sea, a baby without his mother.
Oh, it's a baby.
He was stranded on a sandy coral reef among the seagrass. Tired and frightened, he was unable to reach the shore on his own. Soon, hundreds of villagers and visitors were working together to help the young hippo. They knew he would become sick if he stayed in the salty seawater for long. They used ropes, boats, fishing nets, and even cars to try to rescue him and bring him ashore to safety.
Cars and water.
Meanwhile, Sabine and other workers prepared a large enclosure for Owen. They chose a part of the park that had a pond and a mud wallow, as well as tall trees and brush, everything a hippo could want. The area was already home to a number of bushbacks, vervet monkeys, and a giant aldaraba tortoise called Mitzi. Mitzi, whose name means wise old man in the Swahili language, was the oldest creature in the park. At about 130 years of age, he had been alive since before Stephen's great-grandmother was born. He wasn't very friendly, except to Stephen, who seemed to know just what he liked, such as getting tickled under the chin. Otherwise, Mitzi kept to himself. No one could have guessed how Mitzi's life was about to change. Finally, Dr. Paula and Stephen arrived with Owen, who was now weak and exhausted. As soon as the ropes that held him were untied, Owen scrambled from the truck directly to Mitzi, resting in a corner of the enclosure. Right? Owen crouched behind Mitzi the way baby hippos often hide behind their mothers for protection. At first, Mitzi wasn't happy about this attention. He hissed at Owen and crawled away. Do you think he wanted to be friends?
No.
No. But Owen, who could easily keep up with the old tortoise, did not give up. Slowly, as the night went on, Mitzi began to accept his new companion. When the park workers checked on them in the morning, Owen was snuggled up against Mitzi, and Mitzi didn't seem to mind at all. Do you think maybe they're becoming friends?
Yes, and that's the picture that was on the cover, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Over the next few days, Mitzi continued to crawl away, and Owen continued to follow him. But sometimes it was Owen who would walk away from Mitzi, and Mitzi who would follow.
Aww.
Bit by bit, Mitzi grew friendlier. At first, Owen wouldn't eat any of the leaves left out for him. Stephen and the other caretakers were worried that he would weaken even more. Then they noticed Owen feeding right beside Mitzi, as if Mitzi was showing him how to eat. Or perhaps it was Mitzi's protective presence that helped Owen feel calm enough to eat. No one will ever know. But it was clear that the bond between Owen and Mitzi was helping the baby hippo to recover from being separated from his mother and stranded in the sea.
Mitzi's so new.
See the pictures? That's them in the woods. As the weeks went on, Owen and Mitzi spent more and more time together. Soon they were inseparable. Their bond remains very strong to this day. They swim together, eat together, drink together, and sleep next to each other. They rub noses. That's something friends do, right? You guys rub noses? No, not usually. Maybe that's how animal friends.
What about Eskimos?
Mm-hmm. Owen leads the way to different parts of the enclosure. Then Mitzi leads the way. Owen playfully nuzzles Mitzi's neck, and Mitzi stretches his neck forward, asking for more, just as he does when Stephen tickles him under the chin. Though both animals could easily injure each other, they are gentle with one another. A sense of trust has grown between them.
That's adorable.
That's pretty cute, right? Wildlife experts are still puzzled about how this unlikely friendship came to happen. Most have never heard of a mammal such as Owen and a reptile such as Mitzi forming such a strong bond. Perhaps for Owen it happened this way. Young hippos like Owen need their mothers in order to survive. An old, slow tortoise like Mitzi can never protect Owen the way a fierce mother hippo could. But since Mitzi's coloring and rounded shape are similar to a hippo's, it's possible that to Owen, Mitzi looks like the hippo mother he needs. Harder to explain is the affection that Mitzi seems to show for Owen. Like most Aldoraba tortoises, Mitzi had always preferred to be alone, but sometimes these tortoises live in groups, and perhaps Mitzi sees Owen as a fellow tortoise, the first tortoise he is willing to spend time with. Or perhaps Mitzi knows that Owen's isn't a tortoise, but likes him anyway. The reasons are unclear, but science can't always explain what the heart already knows. Our most important friends are sometimes those we least expected. Owen suffered a great loss, but with the help of many caring people and through his own extraordinary resilience, Owen has begun a new happy life. Most remarkable is the role that Mitzi has played. We'll never know for sure whether Owen sees Mitzi as a mother, a father, or a very good friend. But it really doesn't matter. What matters is that Owen isn't alone, and neither is Mitzi. And that is the true story of Owen and Mitzi, two great friends. Yay! You like the story?